I'm Luke, and welcome to another episode of the Vision to Victory podcast. When I first created this podcast, my mission was to practically help people make their goals and dreams a reality. And over the past year, I've realized that sometimes the biggest challenges are not how to achieve goals, but rather orienting our lives towards the right goals. I thought I'd give you a little story here. As a teenager, I was very eager to drive. Where I lived, you could get your driver's permit when you were 15 and your driver's license at age 16. So when my 15th birthday came around, I was prepared and I passed that test and got my driver's permit. 16th birthday comes around and the same thing. And a few months after turning 16, I got my first car, of which I paid half and my parents paid the other half. And this was back when manual transmissions were cool. And I wasn't interested in lame automatics, so my new car was a manual transmission. And to be clear, the car was nothing special. It was several years old, but to me, it might as well have been a Ferrari. It gave me a sense of freedom and identity, shifting those gears and driving too fast. But it didn't take long for the car to start getting dings and dents and scratches. And I remember when, after a couple years, I was ready to, trade that thing in. It needed to be replaced, right? And I remember, on kind of an immature level, but still having the epiphany of, I remember I used to love this car. I mean, this thing was awesome. And it's just interesting how something that was once a source of pride and identity, very quickly became not that. And admittedly, having a car that I was proud of would continue to be a source of self-worth over the next several years. As a young man, I was always trying to answer the question that we all face: am I enough, and do I have what it takes? A car is just one of many things that I felt could answer that question for me. And look, even saying that out loud sounds ridiculous. But the truth is, while it may or may not be a car, we all have things that we look to prove to ourselves and to the world that we're enough and that we do have what it takes. Unfortunately, most of the things we look to are really poor substitutes for what actually constitute a person who knows who they are and lives from that place. This person, the self-assured person who doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. Instead of worrying about other people's expectations, they live a principled life and have very clear values and priorities that guide them. So this next year, instead of focusing on how to practically turn dreams into reality, with nothing wrong with that, of course, we're going to focus on becoming the most authentic you so you can live with purpose, passion, and joy. See, I believe that the more that each of us become ourselves instead of who we even think we ought to be for others, or even just, again, to kind of prove to ourselves some sort of sense of worth. But if we just can get to the place of actually being our authentic selves, our lives get better and the world around us gets better. So again, this next year, 2026, we're going to focus on becoming the most authentic you so you can live with purpose, passion, and joy. Confident and calm, poised and peaceful, not striving for self-worth, but thriving from self-worth. I like the quote from Dolly Parton. She says, "Find out who you are and do it on purpose." That's my goal for all of us this next year, is to help us find out who we are and then do that on purpose. So if you've been listening for a while, I hope you continue to tune in. If you're new, welcome. I hope you come along for the ride. If you know someone who could use this, share it with them. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day.